Chapter 14 of Facts and Fancies by Orpheus Everts. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Recording by Linda Marie Nielsen, Vancouver, BC. Chapter 14 Darkness now obscures the distance. Still delayed, the train is standing, motionless. What is the matter? Comes from many lips, impatient. Wished I'd gone afoot, says one fool. Feared we can't make no connections, says the farmer on his way to see his daughter in Nebraska. After midnight, says the preacher, arms and jaws both wide extended, waking thus some drowsing sisters. Guess my folks is tired a waiting, volunteered the fleshy woman. Of umbrella reputation. This is nothing to what happens sometimes to me, says the masher. I don't mind it, says the widow, smiling languidly, yet sweetly. Ancient maiden, barricaded, still sits upright, firm and stately. Blooming beauty, just behind her, now is talking with a student on his way to Kemper College. She had graduated last year. She tells him, "No, not at Vassar." "Are you fond of reading?" he asks. "Yes, oh yes," she sweetly answers. "Of good books I'm never weary." So they talk of authors, poets. He likes Scott, and she loves Byron. He thinks Milton grand, but gloomy. Says that Shakespeare's overrated, ungrammatical, and vulgar. Hasn't read him much, he couldn't. She thinks Tennyson has written some sweet things, his Maud, for instance. He has never read Maud, Will, though she does wish she could remember who the author is of something she has read sometime, somewhere. An exquisite little poem. Oh, it's Ella Wheeler Wilcox. He had never heard of Ella. Now of novels their discourse is. He likes Dumas, if the elder, or the younger, he don't know now, thinks his language beautiful, but doesn't care much for the story. She prefers Miss Dinah Mulock, Charlotte Bronte, and Miss Braddon. Has read some of Dickens, tried to, and so on and on they chatter, having much to learn, both of them, that experience only teaches. All the other persons mentioned in these facts and fancies either kept their seats and sat in silence, or gave ear to altercation between two hot-headed parties, equally equipped for battle, one an APA fanatic, as unreasonable and foolish, as deluded and as earnest in his quest for wrongs to right, or injuries to be avenged, done by the Pope of Rome, or threatened, as Cervantes' crazy knight was, when assaulting ancient windmills, and the other, no less doughty, in defense of Pope and Church, was quite as ignorant and zealous, quite as angry and contentious, neither knew enough about the matter then in controversy to discuss the subject calmly. Each depended on assertions, accusations and denials, repetitions of old falsehoods, emphasized with "liar, liar." Scripture tells us who your Pope is. He's the Antichrist, no other, the dark mystery of evil, Scarlet Woman, War of Babylon, Beast with 7 heads and 10 horns, seen by John the Revelator. That's who he is, and you know it, said the party of the first part. Oh, you're talking through your hat now. You have heard some preacher say that. Give us something common sense folks, like ourselves, can understand, please. What's the use of cramming such stuff down our throats? We can't digest it, said the second party hotly. Your church is corrupt, it's rotten, through and always has been. Its whole history is infernal, cruel, bloody, and despotic. Over men and over empires, it presumes to be superior to the Bible, more authentic, exercising the discretion of a sovereignty supreme in the discharge of every function. Oh, the bold-faced, bald pretension! Popes and priests are all lascivious, drunken, avaricious rascals, and your nunneries are brothels, where their sins are hid by murder. These are facts, if you want facts, sir. You don't dare to read the Bible, nor to say your soul's your own, sir, if some bloated, red-nosed father, as you call your priest, has told you that you must not. You don't dare to send your children to the best schools that the world has ever seen, sir, just because you know they'll find out what old humbugs and impostors your priests are, and cease to mind them. You can't vote for whom you please, nor read nor hear without permission. There you go again. That's nonsense. There's no truth in what you said, sir. I'm as free to think as you are. You have no religion, that's all. I believe the Pope and learned men who devote their lives to study of deep subjects should know more than you or I do about such things. What the church says about Bibles, schools, and other things religious, I accept with thanks. I've tried to think of God and heaven and hell and purgatory for myself, sir, but each effort proved a failure. I had rather take my chances in a strong and well-built ship, sir, well supplied and well commanded, than to dig out a canoe and try to paddle it myself, sir. I believe the church is holy. It inculcates wholesome morals. It don't meddle with my business. If I'm honest, I can vote for whom I choose to, unrestrained, sir. And it strikes me, at the same time, that your popes, your Presbyterian, Methodist, Episcopal, and other lesser churches, dictate what should be believed and what not, tolerating no dissension, with as much pride and presumption as the Church of Rome does, ever. Swing and Thomas, Briggs and Smith, are fresh examples of their power, and their disposition, likewise. In the field of politics, too, they are always active, making new laws or enforcing old ones, both prescriptive and restrictive, of your habits and your freedom. You don't call them popes. Oh, no! and think that you are independent. But you're tied up tighter now than any veil-bound sacred sister by your narrow-minded notions, said the Catholic contestant. That's not so, and you know better. You're all trained to lie, you Jesuits, emissaries of a despot who pretends that all mankind are, or should be, his loyal subjects. There is no dependence on you. You can't serve him and be trusted. With our liberties, a moment, said the Protestant defender. Trusted is it that you say, sir? Who was truer to this country when it called for help from danger in the War of '61, sir? Ask your army's muster roll, sir, and the gravestones of the nation's holy places, who were trusted, if we Catholics were traitors. See this scar, sir, show me yours now, and of history who stood firmest by the side of Washington, sir? Who bore hardships of campaigning, and the brunt of battle longest, without flinching or complaining, when your Protestants deserted, or were mutinous and sullen? What does history answer? Hear me, Irishmen and Catholics, sir, said the patriotic papist. Not because they loved this country, but because they hated England. They were fighting for the Pope then, not for human rights nor freedom, said the APA man loudly. Staff and nonsense, worse than falsehood, said the other quite disgusted, and much more of the same tenor about equally applauded. All aboard! At length was shouted, and the train, once more in motion, onward rolled its beaming headlight, tunneling afar the darkness. Onward, onward, soon the wreck that long delayed us, left behind was, and the city, hungry waiting, wide-mouthed, greedily devoured us. 5 hours late, but lo, Peoria! End of chapter 14. End of Facts and Fancies by Orpheus Everts.